Welcome everyone from everywhere in the world, wherever you're visiting us. Thank you for coming. We appreciate that you take the time to come here and join on the Top Coordination Show 13th edition. Wow, there are a lot of episodes so far. And this is a community show made by community members for community members. We normally share experiences and stories from other members to get some inspiration and, of course, useful pieces of wisdom that we can use in our career, tips, advice of how we can do stuff, how we can do certain things in the platform, or things that help us in general. I'm Luis. Nice to see you again. I'm known as Maestro in the community. And we have our main guest star today, someone I'm super happy to be with. He's a good friend from so many years back of history we have together. He's Yoki from Indonesia. He's a talented designer. The thing that I have to say about him, I could get short saying the thing that he has done in the community, things he has accomplished. Well, he's currently he's an MVP member of the MVP class of the Top Color community. He has attended more than 8 or 9, if I'm correct, Top Color Open Finals
Nice.
for UI design, which is something easy to say, but it's not easy to do. um, and also known as he's a very loved member in the community, uh, and he's with us here today to share his experience. But let me first, before talking to this gentleman, great gentleman here, before talking to him, let me please remind you how this works, this episode works. So what we do in the Top Coordination show is that the first 20 minutes of the show, I talk to the guest, casual conversation, and to try to uncover his habits, his tricks, for you to learn from the person. But then after that, we have the AMA section, which is Ask Me Anything, and I have been collecting questions through the week for him, and we received about 9, but I curated them, and we have only 6. There's some questions that kind of repeated. Um, and after these 20 minutes, I'm going to start asking him this question that I received through the form. But if you didn't have the time to ask the questions, because I know that you guys that are out there are busy people, you can ask the question here. There's a Q&A button on the top right side of your screen if you are here live in Welcome in the platform. You click in there, you type your question, and at the end of the section of the AMA section, I will of course pop them out and have Yoki answering them for you, because that's why we have him here today. We want to know what is his favorite ice cream, what he does when he's not working, and this sort of stuff. So that said, let's get this started. Welcome, Yoki. How are you feeling today, my friend?
Hello, Mesro. Hello, Luis. Hello, everyone. Thank you, and I'm very glad to be here, especially with the top on the community.
That is awesome. We also have to mention that we have to be grateful that we have Yoki here today, especially because we have been planning this interview for around 2 3 weeks, and last week we had a call to check some stuff, to talk about some things about the show and some other things,
Yeah.
and he got a flu out of my flu. I was the contagion agent, of course not, but yeah, he got a flu recently, and we didn't know if he was going to make it. But fortunately, he got his health. He recovered his health, and we have him here. So we are super super lucky to have him here. So I would like to start this interview, my friend, with something right off the bat, something that you like, a hobby of yours that you told me that is know that we know that you like games.
Yeah.
You like video games, and this community is known because also of people. There are a lot of gamers in here around. I myself, I mean, I haven't been playing much recently, other than Pokemon on the Discord channel, the Discord server. But yeah, I'm quite familiar with it. So I'm just curious to know what type of games you play at the moment. What are your favorite video games?
Yeah. Mostly I like the racing game because since I was a kid, I love to watch Formula One.
Oh,
So
wow.
most of the my game collection is the racing game. But right now, but I play all kind of games, from the strategy, the
Mm.
RPG, the adventure, and the first person shooting. I think,
Oh,
yeah. especially with this the multiplayer thing. It will become more excited play with other people, going live, cursing
Yeah,
each other.
yeah, cursing each other, especially if you have friends to play with. That the
Yeah,
experience is
yeah.
much better.
Well,
Yeah, and I think I remember. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you had a multiplayer gaming thing going on with Top Coder members.
yeah, yeah. With Tong, with the Diablo,
Ah, yeah, well,
rest in peace, and also with Nico,
yeah.
yeah, and sometimes with Stark, yeah,
Stark. Oh
yeah.
man, Surya. Man,
So
wow,
yeah,
this is cool. You guys have a
mm.
gaming club. You didn't invite me. What's going? What's going on here? So there is Tong, Nico, Stark. I'm happy to hear about this, and I think we will get more information about this from you
Mm.
because I want to join this club, man. What's going on here? I thought we were friends. That's
Sometimes also
cool.
with Daddy, Lunar Kid,
Ah,
but
yeah,
yeah, but I
yeah.
don't think he play a lot right now.
Ah, okay. Ah, but that's cool. You found good games to play, good friends to play with, and it's a coincidence too that they're people from Top Coder, which is great. Like you are in a place, you're finding work, you're finding friendship.
Mm.
That is awesome. Which makes me turn this topic to, of course, Top Coder, to your amazing career that you have built here in Top Coder. Um, so basic questions to get this started. How did you find out about Top Coder, and
Mm.
how was that experience?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I was working in electronic manufacture since
Oh,
2004, and at 2008, my college friends introduced me to Topcoder, and at the first time, I don't feel any confidence because uh, it took another knowledge that at that time I only focusing on the electronic manufacturing. So
okay.
um, for the mobile or web design, mobile design, I was afraid that I cannot understand about it. So even graphic
Wow.
design is my passion, but
Mm,
also I don't have much time, and
mm.
so after the work, I got tired and mostly is going to sleep.
To sleep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but and then after I got the economic pressure, I need
Mm.
more money from that,
Yeah.
and then I push myself to try a challenge in the top quadrant. So
Hmm.
I think my first challenge it was Visor, uh, and it create like a mobile app, and with help from my friend Basuki, he taught
Ah,
me
Basuki.
about, yeah,
He was
about.
the one who suggested you to join the brother.
No, it's the other guy. His name is Aji. Aji, yeah,
Anji. Oh.
yeah. Back then, we in our manufacturer we have several active top coder member.
Ah, wow.
Yeah, it's not just me. I think it's like a five.
Mm.
So maybe their Cardi Boy,
Cardi boy.
and
Yeah.
yeah, and also the Eng Eng one or ENG one.
ENG
He also,
zero
yeah,
one. Yeah.
Basuki. Yeah, that's still active until now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow. So it's super interesting. You were working in a electronic
manufacturing.
manufacturing, and also exploring what else you could do on the side.
Yes,
And you mentioned that you didn't know anything about it, like kind of. So basically, we can say that you started from scratch. This
yes.
design. Wow,
Uh,
man, that's.
yeah, even I finished my college in the IT degree, but
Mhm.
once I joined the electronic manufacturing, I should learn the new thing, the electronic one. So mostly I got um, peel off of my IT knowledge. So yeah, and back then we don't have any luxury about the internet, so
Mm,
that's why learning the new thing is
mm.
very hard at that
It
time.
was, yeah, it was difficult compared to these
Mm.
days. It was
Yes.
2008. You were there, out there, in the wilderness of trying to learn design. And yeah, I mean, I'm aware that there weren't available many resources back in those days,
Mm.
as I was myself trying to learn the same. Um, but I guess that you had a process somehow. And how did you learn? I mean, because you were starting from scratch, you didn't have
Mm.
many resources available. What did you do to learn? How was your learning process?
Mm. Yeah. Basuki showed me the previous design about the
Hmm.
mobile, and he explained what kind of the footer, what kind of the
Hmm.
header, what is carousel, about the text, the typography, color, and etc. So um, I don't have any smartphone back then. I
Yeah.
just remember it's like I still have like my Nokia, maybe, and just two-tone Nokia when I use from the from the college time. So I still have that.
Yo, man, that's worth of a museum, putting it in a
Yeah,
museum. Wow, man. So you were lucky enough to kind of
yeah,
find some sort of mentor who taught you
exactly.
the things right there. And I guess that by then we were using Photoshop or Illustrator. Which tool do you
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
you were using?
Actually, I learned Photoshop since in my college because I love to make like digital imaging, like
Hmm.
photo editing and put someone face into certain body and something like that. So I'm familiar with Photoshop, but not in web or mobile design. So mostly we use like many effect, but right now we are focusing on like typography and so or something.
Hmm. Yeah, times have changed. People out there were times when you may be shocked, modern designers listening this, but there were times when user interfaces were created uh, with either even Illustrator. Even
Yeah, yeah.
you
Mm.
can shudder in your seat right now using Illustrator for
Mm.
UI design. Photoshop was okay, but basically we were using tools that were not meant for that,
Mm.
because those tools were meant to do basically mostly heavy photo edition work, photo montage, and this sort of stuff. But yeah, there came this need of creating user interfaces, and these were the most popular tools at the moment available. Right now, of course, we have Adobe XD,
Mm.
Sketch. And I know that you are an advocate of Figma. You have been using Figma recently a
Mm.
lot, and which of course makes the work easier. It's probably focused for user experience
Mm.
design. Now let's appreciate how lucky we are to
Yeah,
have
yeah.
these modern tools. And Joki, back in those days when you were um, designing and learning and I'm sure that you must have acquired some kind of lessons, things that you learn. What do you think are the things that you learn in those times that you're proud of, although you feel grateful of having learned, that are useful, that they are still useful to you, the things you learn that are still useful to you in design?
You know, actually, Topcoder made me a better person, make me a better designer because um, not just the platform but the staff, the community member. We have like um, a great chemistry.
Mm,
We support each other. We encourage each member to do more challenge, to join the more challenge, because when we start joining as a new member joining a challenge,
mm,
it will be hard. We don't
mm,
feel any confidence. Especially we met um, with the veteran member, with veteran designer.
Like you.
That yeah, no, but back then I always pick a challenge that no other or no veteran member joining that. So I was
Mm,
searching like I'm Tong, Avida Vera, Jack Mania.
mm,
I watched for those guys. So
yeah.
if there's a challenge that n- none of them is joining, and then and then
Then you
I
take it.
yeah, just to take it. Yeah, I think it's very normal. I think most of the new member doing the same thing.
Mhm,
And at the first time, losing is it's kind of it's not important, because uh, when I start joining the challenge, my first goal is to complete the design and to submit.
mhm,
That's it. I
yeah.
don't I don't imagine to get the checkpoint price or maybe the main price. So I take it away from my talk first. So
Mhm,
I'm only focusing how to complete the design challenge first. Because completing the whole requirement, it's a different challenge for me for
mhm,
myself at that time. Yeah. So yeah, I don't want to put a burden to myself by winning the main prize. So yeah, just to completing the challenge, just to make easy for me to do the next challenge, to make to get used to the top of the challenge. So after I get the used to, then I feel that I can do this. I start up to build my confidence,
mhm,
and I still remember that I learned the Adobe Illustrator when I joined. I think it's a game challenge, creating a
mhm,
games. There was Diablo.
yeah.
Um, he created like the mummy. I was creating like something like Angry Birds game. So, yeah.
Yeah,
So learning, yeah.
yeah.
So creating design using a new design tool. I don't think it's hard to do as long we know that what we will gonna build with that tool. That's it.
Yeah. You just made me remember something like about thinking about tools and execution of work, but that's something that says I'm on the line. It's like it's not the tool, it's how you use it. It's like you can have a pencil,
Mm,
but and then someone else can have like all the oils, all the colors, but someone if he just knows what to do and what she wants to do with a pencil can create great stuff than someone that has all the colors in the world. uh, yeah, man, it's super interesting this approach then, because there's something different from all the stories I've heard when people are starting to learn design. um, that you were designing and working just for the purpose of growth, of your personal growth. I mean, you put away the thought of the pressure of winning,
mm,
and you just focus on completing all the work for you, because you wanted to learn, you wanted to finish it, you
yeah.
wanted to have it completed. And man, I mean, giving it some thoughts to this is just a great way to finish. I mean, to end with this sort of fear of not completing the projects, and I can see now how it has served you for completing so many challenges in your career. Because that's tough when you compete, and maybe you don't know if you're going to win. Maybe that can somehow demotivate bring down the motivation
Mm,
not to complete the work. But if you set yourself in this trajectory, putting away the thought that you have to win, putting away the pressure, it's a different approach, as something that I think is valuable to know it. Because I mean, making a comparison here, I mean, as with you, I did the same thing. I joined the challenges where I didn't see many where I was starting, and by that time there were guys called like Autumn, Max
oh,
Sense.
mm.
These are names that maybe don't ring a
Yeah.
bell to many new designers, but these were the the think tanks of that time. And when
Mm.
I saw any of them, even Yiming, he's still
Yeah, yeah.
he has been acting recently, but these guys, they were the top notch, the cream in the community. When I saw them, I just moved away from it. I picked another challenge, just like you, but I
Mm,
picked very short challenges. You see, because I was
mm,
afraid of investing my time and not completing and not earning anything.
mm.
But I think, yeah, if I would have done the same, maybe I would have learned more, and maybe I could have become a rock star like you. You see, this is the difference between rock stars and amateurs. Ah, man, yeah, it's a great way to put it. And there's a nice comment from Daniela here. Something she said, like, we were uploading large files on Topcoder for
Oh
design
yeah,
from 300 megabytes,
yeah,
many
yeah.
times in the last minute. Yeah.
Oh, that's very frustrating. Yeah, with the Photoshop thing, it will get bigger and bigger. So,
Yeah.
yes, especially when we uploaded the file and it takes maybe almost hour uh, it, in my place because the internet connection is not so good. So it takes almost an hour.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and the same thing here for me. When I had to submit something last minute, the internet was so slow, like 2 megabytes per second. That was the speed, and man, I got so many frustrations from trying to load the last time. So, piece of advice here for everyone: don't submit last minute.
Yeah.
Don't burn out your submission deadline, because you will suffer. You will very likely suffer. Yeah. Well, yeah, okay. Something also related to your top color career and design. Um, this is something I like to ask all my designer friend designers. I have asked this question to Ravi, to Vicky, and I want to ask it to you. What do you think makes a great designer? Because there are good designers. I can.
Mm,
I'm a good designer. I mean, I can. I don't want to
mm,
brag, but I consider myself a good designer. But what if I want to become a great designer? What makes a great designer to you?
mhm. Uh, uh, from my opinion, a great designer never feel or know that he or she is a great designer. Why? Because they keep learning and always try to find a way to be a better designer. So
Mm,
there's no limit about a great designer because they want to achieve to be a better designer.
mm,
But mostly good designer, they give like a better solution and impactful even without adding more complexity. And yeah,
mm,
their ownership about the product, about the
mm,
design, and also yeah, mostly how they explain their idea, their
mm.
solution to the client or the customer is that can convince the client or customer that this is the better solution. So I think, yeah, that's make a better, a good
Wow. Yeah.
designer.
Yeah. That definitely. Yeah. I totally understand that. I'm not, and I take as a takeaway. I'm with the part of the last two things you said about justifying the design decisions, basically, to not to sell, but just basically to justify why you make these design
Mm,
decisions. And when you're aware of that, it means that you own, that there's certain ownership of the product. And and very deep there, never stop learning. I mean, I'm growing. At the moment that you think you're great, uh, that's your limit, and then you become good again. This is now I realize why I'm just a good designer. Thank you, Yoki, for for removing
mm,
the veil out of my
mm.
eyes. It's a little bit shameful, yeah, but thank you. Sometimes shame is necessary for growth. So I'm so happy that it was you who did that.
No,
uh,
yeah, I think learning the new thing, especially for the channel, I think it's very important. The technology it's growing, the people behavior, and the the user, I mean the user problem, it's keep changing. So yeah, also the design style always came out with something new. So that's why we need to learn and to keep watching what the new technology, what the new trending, and
Mm.
what the new problem that people have. Sometimes,
Yeah, which makes me think of learning. Talking about this learning topic, and now that we have wide variety of sources to learn from and more resources, basically, I am just curious, what approach would you take if you had to start learning from scratch? I mean, do you have any specific places or any specific routes that you think, if you had to start over from scratch to learn design, how would you do it?
yeah, yeah. Back then, since I don't have any luxury with the internet and especially
Mm,
with the design resources, so nowadays, if I'm starting from scratch, I definitely will learn about the basic design fundamental, because the
mm,
whether it's a graphic design, UI design, UX design, it's have like basic design fundamental that's very important to me. So um, when I taking a more challenge in the beginning of my Topcoder, I keep learning how to make a screen, how to make
mm,
design, but I don't understand about the fundamental behind it.
mhm,
I don't very have like a good understanding why we should make this button like this,
mm,
why we should
yeah,
use this size. So uh, I wasn't aware about that. So I just searching for the references, and then I just get it just like that. Something. I think that's part that I'm missing when I'm learn uh,
mm.
top product or learning design in the first time.
Yeah, I totally agree with the design fundamentals. I think that's kind of the core or the of course the core of the base knowledge that every designer should have, a way to explain and articulate the design decisions that the person is making. That's that's power. I mean, in to create designs that really solve problems, as you mentioned, in a non-complex way but simple. And talking about these fundamentals, uh, where would be the place that you would go to learn about this? You have like any recommendation, like podcasts, I don't know, YouTube channel, a specific YouTube channel, anything that comes to mind if you have
Mm.
any?
I still have back then. Basuki shared me about the design resource that he got from the internet
Okay.
by saving it into the HTML file, and
Mm.
then he shared to me. So I learned from it. Yeah,
Okay.
so we don't have like many internet. So when we have
Yeah.
opportunity to go to the internet, then we download every page that we find it useful. So I was remember that um, like contrast, color, size,
Mm.
depth. I think it's I will use it daily. So
Mm.
it's very basic, but it's pretty powerful. So um, yeah, did I
Yeah.
uh, answer your question?
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Definitely. You had a HTML file that your mentor prepared for you with the
Yeah,
resources, because guys didn't have internet,
yeah,
and that is amazing. And yeah, to put that in within some context, it's great that you mentioned this, man, because I totally, when I said I get you, I don't say it just because trying to be empathetic or something. It's because I also lived a similar situation in my home country when I was just graduated from college,
mm,
and trying to learn stuff, and I didn't have internet in my home, like you did, like you didn't also have. So when you say, like, when you have mentioned the word luxury many times, and yeah, having internet was a luxury back then for us. And when you also mentioned, like, when we had the chance I also feel identified with this. But when I had the chance to go to an internet place, it was only to to read quickly about something. I remember downloading the specification. I went to these kind of places. I don't know if they still exist, but they were called like cyber coffees. When you had a bunch of computers and you
Yeah,
rented
yeah,
one computer 1 hour per
yeah.
1 hour, I don't know,
Yeah,
$10
yeah.
in 1 hour,
Uh,
and then you rented the computers,
mm,
and I browsed the studio side, design side, and back in there, I selected the challenge that I liked. I downloaded the spec. I downloaded the forum pages as
mm,
HTML files as you did, uh, as Basuke did for you with the
mm.
resources. I went home. I worked for 2 3 days, and then when I was done, I had to go again to a coffee place, to the cyber coffee places,
Mm.
upload everything.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
sometimes, you know what happens sometimes, and I'm sure it may have happened to you. When I was uploading the full, all of the efforts of my precious hours invested in that problem, there was a blackout, and then I couldn't,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then I couldn't.
Uh,
Yeah.
I have some experiences about the uploading in the last minute. I already worked for maybe for the 3 or 4 days with so many screen, and then when I had to upload my
Mhm.
submission, and then uh, I got lost connection in my internet, so I went to the internet cafe, and they only have like the old computer, so it takes more hours,
Yeah.
and the final thing is that I failed to upload my submission.
Oh
My leg
yeah,
was
that's
shaking,
painful.
and yeah, it's very heartbreaking, but I don't give up there. But so yeah, it's just salty experience.
Yeah, such experience, different times. I'm
Yeah.
thinking here that we should have titled this episode like AMA with Yoki. We should have titled it as two guys ranting about times when they didn't have internet.
Mm. Back then when I created Topcoder challenge, Topcoder design, I was using my college computer, so I don't have a laptop back then. So
Mm.
uh, every time I finish my work at the manufacturing, so I went at my house. So I start working until late night and continuing into the another days. So
Wow, man.
yeah.
Yeah, I know. I feel you. Yeah, it's so inspirational when we try to summarize. Of course, we wouldn't do it justice to your full story. When we try to summarize it as someone who graduated from an IT career, but was executing or working in a manufacturing,
Mm.
hardware electronic manufacturing place, and then started to pursue a design career out of economic pressure, necessity, more money, and which is normal. We all go through that. And but then you didn't know anything, man, and you learned from scratch. I mean, you had the help of some other members, and
Yeah, yes.
but they were just kind of pointing the path, man. They were not giving you
Mhm.
actually like superpowers, like go there and then you click a button and then you
Yeah,
win. You
yeah.
had to go through had to go through certain process and learning and setting your mind to the way. And man, when you and the struggle, I mean,
Mm.
you didn't have internet. You had to go to certain places to upload your work. And man, then when you see what you have built with your career, because this is something I must confess that I miserably failed at explaining what you have achieved in Topcoder, because just the fact of simply saying that you've been in 9 TCOs is just not enough. It's just becoming a member who is very well loved by the community members, by the staff, um, who also provide mentorship for other members, because we know that you went through a harsh process of learning and getting where you are at right now. But you're also doing it for other people, and that's so inspirational. And I just wanted to make it super clear that
Mm.
we are very lucky to have you as part of the community.
Thank
And
you.
okay, no, okay, and switching a little bit of topic of the learning and your initial career, before jumping to the questions from people. Would like to get to know a little bit about your place, to tell us
Mm.
where is it where
Oh
you
yeah,
live, and what you do there. I mean, in,
yeah.
for fun. when you're not
Okay.
working?
Okay. Yeah. I'm originally from Surabaya, and currently I'm living in Surabaya. So in
Surabaya.
Indonesia, yeah,
Mm.
it's city of heroes. So
City of Heroes.
but
Yeah, I
yeah,
remember.
but I grew up in Denpasar, Bali. I spent many great times in Bali. So yeah. Um.
In Bali?
Yeah. Correct.
You were born in Bali?
No, no. I grew up in Bali.
Ah, you grew up in there.
Yeah.
Ah.
But when I was like elementary high school, I moved to
Yeah.
Bali, and then um, when I start in the college, I moved back again to Surabaya.
Ah, wow.
Yeah,
Man, Bali rocks.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Definitely my very great time, best time there. So
wow.
what is the other question again?
Yeah, and what do you do when you're not working? I mean, for fun, what are your hobbies in the place you live in?
Yeah. Actually, I cannot stay away from design things.
Ah,
You know,
okay.
uh, I got addicted with gaming, but when I joined Topcoder and I'm doing more challenge, taking more challenge, getting checkpoint, and then I become addicted to design, and
Oh,
it
man.
can replace my game addiction.
Yeah.
So at least I just maybe like reading the article from the other designer and
Mm,
looking for the new design inspiration about the
mm.
technology, about the new apps, yeah, something like that. But never away from the design thing.
So,
Because yeah, once you are a designer, you can see the world in another way, you know?
uh, yeah.
Not in a normal way.
Yeah, and I guess this way is that you see problems and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
picture solutions. Yeah,
Uh,
you picture solutions. Yeah, yeah, I can totally get it. So we can say it's safe to say that your hobby is to keep learning design, and yeah, that is great, and that is great. It's, because I don't know it's also good to know the lifestyle and things people do in their normal life. Because when we're here, we think we all anything all the things we do is just work and work. No, there's other things that work. And for instance, we know that you are you're a parent, and
mm,
that must be kind of a challenge. And I would curious to know how you cope with that, like remote work, because we obviously know that you do
mm,
remote work for the color
mm.
remote work, and being a good parent. How do you cope with that? How you do how to manage to pull that off?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I never feel that I'm a, a good parent. My wife always joking when she said
Mm.
that she had three kids. I mean, but it's me and my two daughters. So yeah,
Oh, bloody hell.
yeah, yeah, yeah. When when I teasing my daughter, she said like, now I have three kids. You know, uh, you know, uh, you know. Yeah, but I always try to be a good father, leading by example that you can never give up to something you like. So
Mm,
even you failed, you should try again. And
mm,
once my wife asked me to teach my daughter how to draw, I said I don't want to teach uh, because I want her to draw it by herself, and
mm.
it works actually. Because
Uh,
if I teach her, and uh, I don't want her to copying or following what I do. So uh, I want her to explore what she want to draw. So
mm,
yeah, about the remote working, I think I already doing the remote working before I got married. So yeah,
mm.
just like we said before we opened this season, I think it's
Yeah,
more like 13 or 4. Sorry, I start fully remote working. It's since 2011.
11.
Yeah, but because 2008 and until 2011, I still working in the manufacturing while
Uh,
also joining the Topcoder. So
okay. Yeah. And I mean, yeah, stepping back a little bit, great values to teach your children. I agree. With letting them explore what they want to do by themselves. Um, and yeah, the remote work part. Uh, yeah, I was referring to probably what I mean. You're already used to this, so I guess that is nothing new to you. Like,
mm,
okay, remote work, but maybe some for some people who are not used to this, they don't know that they have to stay home while they're working, and maybe they comes your child, hey, wait, dad, I want to play, but you know that maybe you shouldn't because you have a
uh,
deadline.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
yeah, I don't know how you deal with this. I mean, it's
I cannot, my wife and my kids always ask me to keep my promise to take them
yeah.
to to vacation or to go outside. So I always looking for a reason that it's very um, it's very busy right now, and there's a traffic jam in the city and
Mm,
it's in our city. So yeah, but yeah, sometime maybe at least once a month I took my family to go to vacation. Yeah,
yeah.
the funny thing in with the remote working, when I got married, my father-in-law,
Mm,
we live in Jogja. I At the first time of my marriage, I lived with my father-in-law.
mm.
So he was not familiar about the internet thing, especially about the design job.
Okay, yeah.
It's hard to
I
explain. Yeah,
I can see where this is coming. Yeah,
yeah.
where
So
this is
when
going.
I'm working with my shirt and just like in the morning, already in
Yeah,
front of the
yeah.
computer,
The
and
computer.
and yeah, and he asked me, what is your job? I
Uh.
explained thing about the website and and something,
What a
and
mess.
yeah, yeah, it's really hard to know. But finally, he understand when I went to the US for the TCO.
Mm,
So yeah, I think he finally believed that, oh yeah, Yoki has a job as a
yeah,
designer.
like this guy is doing something with his time.
Yeah.
He's not just playing video games in front of the computer. Yeah, yeah, I totally get you, and especially this feeling that when you go to a top coder open, your family thinks like it's something like you're going to the Olympics. Like they're
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
okay, he's representing Indonesia in the Olympics of computer, something like that. Yeah, yeah, I get it. I mean, and I get it. Well, Yoki, man, I have plenty of these questions I would love to ask you, but unfortunately, I won't have the pleasure to ask them at least live, because we have to jump into the next
mm,
section of the
yeah,
of the episode, where I'm going to ask you questions we received through the Google form,
mm,
and we have them here in the QA section. And by the way, people who didn't have the chance to actually add your questions in, that you can go to the QA section here in welcome, click it, and type your questions, and Joki will gladly answer it. We have the first one right here, which will pop up in the screen in a moment. Um, um, yeah, wait a second. Yeah, here it is.
mm,
Sometimes we don't have challenges in long time, which
mm.
means you have much leisure time. What did you do in this time? Learning, holidays?
Yeah, when there's no challenge,
Mm,
we believe that there's still many design knowledge that we should learn.
mm,
It can be like typography, layout, colors, many things that related with the design. Not just a visual one, but more about the user experience design. I
mm,
think I will take holidays after I win a couple of challenge. That's
Yeah,
that will make me feel comfortable when going to the holidays. But
yeah,
yeah, but if I already took a lot of challenge, and then I need to refreshing myself. So yeah, mostly I doing like playing games, but don't get me wrong, playing games, it can give you like um, more about the fresh UI,
mm,
because
yeah,
sometimes UI of the game is very inspiring,
hmm,
about the new style, about the futuristic style. It came from the games. Um, yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
Video games can be very inspiring. I
mhm.
agree.
But most of the time, if I just learn design, I will use my time to doing the design challenge for myself. I
Mm,
pick a design sample, and then I try to finish it maybe like uh, 5 hours. And if I
mm,
complete it, and then I took another challenge with the harder challenge
mm.
and complete it with the shorter time. So yeah, I will keep my design skill in shape.
Yeah, very sharp. Yeah, there you have it. That's a great one. Mostly using your time for your leisure, free time for learning and keep honing your skills. That's a great one. Well, now we're gonna have the second question. It says, if I want to start designing, what are the prerequisites?
Mm, yeah. First thing that you have to know that what do you want to design, you know,
Mm,
and then if you want to learn about the web thing, and then you should learn um, about it. There's so many web design, from the landing page, from the company profile, and many things. You have to learn. If you just learning to design, I suggest you to do the copy, uh, copying
yeah,
the design.
yeah,
Yeah, you should make it just like as it is. Uh,
mm,
so what you will learn is, you will learn about the tools. You will learn about the sizes. You will learn about how to create an effect and playing with the color. So
mm,
um, but the what you should learn is, what you should prepare is about the basic understanding.
mm.
About if you are creating a mobile screen, you have to know about the sizes, about the spaces, something like that. And yeah, but mostly about the interaction.
Yeah, I think that's a full list of things to learn for someone who wants to start designing. Knowing what you want to design, maybe like something to specialize at, I would say. And you have options like Yoki mentioned. The copy is a good one for starters, trying to copy good visuals
Mhm,
and replicate them, so you know how to put things into a user screens.
mhm,
And then yeah, but fundamentally what Yoki is suggesting is very good. It's working on your understanding of the problems. That's a great one. Now we can move to the third question, which is also a good one. Is It says, "Can you please tell me what is the recipe for success?"
Mostly, most of the members say that never give up. you know um,
Mm,
Success is not built in just a one night. you know
mm,
yeah, before you take success, you always take a fail first.
huh,
So if you once you fail and then you stop, it gonna be a disaster. So
mm,
even you fail, you just keep moving and take another challenge, take another challenge. Um, it's not about winning or losing, but even if you lost in many challenges, actually you already won. Why? For example, you lost in the 30 challenge, 30, 30
Mm.
challenge.
Wow, it's a
It's
lot.
kind of painful, yeah.
Mm.
But uh, but probably uh, you don't recognize that you already have certain project in your belt. You already done the 30 design, the 30 project in your portfolio.
Hmm.
So I don't think it's lost anyway. So it's kind of learn a new thing. And most of the successful top coder member is persistent. They keep joining a challenge even they lost. For example, a start, he
Hmm.
kept losing, but but
Yeah,
but eventually he learned and he asked other community member to help him to about learn about the design. And yeah, and right now he's one of the successful designer in Topcoder.
yeah, yeah. I agree. His journey is also meritory of congratulations because he's just an example of this persistence. I think he once told us he spent about more than 5 months without having any, or 8 months, something like that, without having any kind of victory in top color, even though he persisted. And what he became is just mind blowing. His skills are just amazing. When you could basically say that he started like kind of doing napkin designs and a napkin, and right now he's just a top notch
Mm,
designer. And yeah, yeah, definitely, that's definitely good. But something that I would like to follow up with that one, with this one, is on the length of the time that you can spend without winning,
mm,
which is another part. I mean, because we know that, okay, I'm gonna have 30 projects under my belt of experience. But although I think that's something that you can see better in hindsight. I mean, afterwards, and but during the process while you're living that's painful. I mean,
mm,
it's
yeah.
painful. So I'm just curious to know if you have any sort of advice um, to how to live through the moment, because we know it's
Mm.
painful. It's painful. I mean, how you deal with it in the moment.
I always try to forgetting the past challenge. Even I won, even I lost, I just try focusing on the next challenge. You know,
Move on.
because I don't want my winning make me a bit soft. So I just keep forgetting whether I won or lost. So I always excited to join to take the new challenge. That's why. So
Yeah,
even I already won a lot, so I just I just forget it.
yeah.
I just forget them all. Yeah.
Move on. That would
Move
be
on. Yeah.
like the British popular billboard, like carry on,
Mm,
carry on. Yeah, like new challenge and carry on. That's it.
mm.
Okay, that's a good piece of advice for this one. Now we can move to the next question, which is the fourth one. And what is your favorite top coder open and why?
This is the hard question. Almost all TCO is my favorite TCO. But uh, the one TCO that stood up. It was TCO 12. It
The
was
first
my
one.
first TCO, the first
The
one,
first one. Yeah.
where I met Luis, Daniela, and other top other member. And the first time I went to the Disney Kingdom, it was
Yeah,
very very amazing. That's
it
I
was.
think
It was.
Luis and me almost cry back then. We are seeing the firework, the amazing firework.
Yeah, we were hugging each other, watching these
Uh,
great fireworks in the castle, in the Disney castle.
yeah.
Yeah, it was a wonderful time. This is for people who have been here from the beginning. This is the year when Yoki had his long hair. He looked like a Los Angeles skater board. totally. 15 years years old boy from Los Angeles. That's a great one, man. That's a great one. And now we have the fifth question coming over. And now that I read it, I think I ruined it because you answered this already. The question is: I compete, but I keep losing.
Mm,
How can I deal with this? It's been a 4 month unlucky. And Joseph,
mm.
next challenge and carry on
Yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
that. Yeah.
Actually, we can improve our design that already lost, so we can improve it. And um, if you want, you can create another design um, with the same or maybe the better solution with the different branding. So you can have your portfolio. So uh, but most of the time, many of designer um, back then they always learn and try to improve the design that they lost. You know, if they have time, they will improve the design.
Yeah.
So, but
Yeah.
it's been 4 months, unlike it's right.
Yeah.
Uh, you should, I think, you should heard from the start stories
Yeah.
because
Let's bring him.
yeah. I think it's a good idea.
Yeah. And just to add something extra to what Yoki said and what this Yoki has been saying, um, for to whomever was the person who wrote these questions, because this came from anonymous source. Uh, Man, we hear you. I mean, I know it's painful that you spend so much time um, without having any win in design. Um, and it's kind of like Yoki said, it could be cliche saying to hang in there, just keep
Mm,
trying. Um, but yeah, just know that it's the pain goes away when this moment you start having the fruits. I mean, I don't know, I haven't seen your portfolio, the quality of your work yet, but that doesn't matter. We have had persons who, as I mentioned, start he design kind of things in a napkin, and it's like you took a pencil and you drew an user interface, and somehow you made it digital. That was the quality of his work, and right now he just creates top-notch stuff. So learning is essential here. But I just wanted to mention that we get we feel the pain. I know it's painful too. um we had the sixth question, the final question from the form, which says, what things set you in design mood, Yoki, for inspiration and better focus?
yeah, back then I used to listening music while designing, but
Music.
after
Yeah.
yeah, but after I knew some of the Topcoder member is not using any music, they like
Mm,
the silence
mm.
while listening. So yeah, after that I'm more focusing when there's no distraction, any music or
Wow.
something. Yeah.
I
That's
didn't
why
know that.
I prefer. Usually, I wake up at the 4 a.m.
Mm.
and after praying, and then I start opening my laptop. And if I have any challenge, I will start to uh, designing while I'm still fresh. While still
Yeah,
fresh,
right.
and everything is still in silence. So, but
Mm.
for the inspiration, yeah, for the inspiration we have so many things right now nowadays we have like a Pinterest, we have dribbles, we have Behance. There's so
Mm.
many design references that we have there, but for the main inspiration is uh, mostly from games. you
Yeah,
know,
you got it.
I also play like a football manager. They have so many data, so they have like
Yeah,
tables.
yeah. That's one you play on Facebook, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah, yeah. I played it when it came new. It was a long time ago, and I still going. I didn't know it was still going. That's
mm.
a good one. Okay, cool. Well, there you have it. That was our final question for
Oh,
the
then
forms. No, well, we
uh,
have one more. We have one
yeah,
more
yeah.
from Tanya.
Mm.
Tanya asks, which software do you prefer to use for design?
Yeah, honestly, I don't have any specific design tool that I use to, but right now I'm mostly using Figma. Why? Because most of the client and the project asks for Figma as
Mm,
a design tool. But then we
yeah,
use Photoshop, and for other graphic designer, we will use the Adobe Illustrator, and sometime we after I I bought my Mac. I switched using a Sketch.
sketch. Yeah.
But yeah, there's a project that need Adobe XD, so I learn and
Mm,
use XD. So I don't have any particular or specific design tool, but
mm,
um, right now I suggesting Figma because it's free
mm,
and it can be used in any platform, not just Mac, but also in the Windows, and it also can be used in the browser base.
mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a very versatile uh,
Mm.
design tool. Yeah, that's great. There you have it, Tanya. If you're interested into exploring the design realms uh, of, uh, of this world, there you have it. You can try many of these.
Oh,
Well, I think we reached the end of the questions. I actually overextended this episode for a few minutes, so sorry for taking extra this time of your time, Yoki, but it was super interesting. And before we leave, I'm gonna leave Yoki here to say any message, goodbye message, anything you want to say, man. The show is yours.
okay. Thank you, Luis. I just said thank you to the top coder staff, especially Adam and Jesse, and also my fellow community member. It's been a wonderful time. It's kind of a part of my life, you know, when I still learning and until now. What I shared to my other friend about the design, about the experience. Also, I got it from the top coder. So I was grateful to have a chance to compete in top coder platform, and also the environment. It's very warming.
Mm.
It's very interesting. It's very supporting. So yeah, many of designer who success in the top coder, they never give up. So if you new to the top coder and you want to start learning, whether it's code or maybe design, I think uh, just don't give up. Okay, I think
That
that's
is
it.
that is that's it. Like, no, no. I just was want to mention that is very wise, very deep, and man, I appreciate you taking the time for being here, especially considering that you're actually going through personal uh, flu illness that is annoying, and but we were lucky to have you, that you were feeling good enough to be here even without both having these runny noses. uh, it's just beautiful to have the opportunity to bring the experience to other people, and share it. All these pieces of advice are just amazing, man.
Yeah.
There's true value in there. So I appreciate you for taking the time to be here. Of course, our millions of hundreds of thousands of viewers on the interweb seeing us live. Thank you for coming. I appreciate that you take the time to share some moment of your agendas with us here, and it makes us, the whole team, feel motivated to keep doing this. So goodbye, everyone. Have a good
Bye
rest of
bye.
your day, your evening. Enjoy yourself. See
Yeah.
you in
Thank
another
you.
episode.
Thank you, Luis. Bye bye.
Bye.